Draft pod, baby. We're doing it. Last one before the actual draft. It's an amazing time to be alive. You know it is. We have to finish our DBs, so we're going to get into that. And then all sorts of names being thrown out for the Broncos. All sorts of rumors swirling for the top 10. Well, we're getting into it all now. DNVR Draft Pod, baby. Last time I get to do that intro before the 2025 NFL Draft is actually on its way. Wow. I'm realizing I'm saying what a time to be alive a bit too often.
That's like 10 years ago.
That was a time.
Aside from that.
That was a time to be alive.
In retrospect.
That's
when that came
What
out.
a time to be alive. Truly that was.
2015. Crazy.
Live from the Toyota Lounge.
Great time.
In downtown Denver. Right above the DNVR bar
Broncos in the
on
Super
the
Bowl.
corner of Colfax
What a time.
and York. We are, of course, driven by your Front Range
Rookie Nikola
Toyota
Jokic.
stores. Toyota, the official
Yes.
vehicle of DNVR. I mean, it's anything pre-COVID, guys.
Yeah,
Oh,
but
what
20
a time to be alive.
2015
It was like-
especially, though. Come on.
Yeah. Pre-COVID, though, was a great time to be alive.
We
Super
didn't
Bowl
know how
MVP
good we
Von
had it.
Miller,
No, it was
the
a different vibe. It was
still
a
haven't
different
won a
different
Super
vibe.
Bowl in 50-some years.
Look, we got a hello from Germany joining
Wow.
the draft
What's up,
pod.
Tobias?
Shout out to Germany.
Tobias, our guy. We've got David in the Toyota chat as well.
I didn't know Tobias was a German name.
Is that true?
Yeah, I mean, Tobias would have to clarify.
Yeah,
that
no,
for
tell us more.
And we'd honestly,
My sister lives in Germany.
what we'd really like to know. Shout out Hank's sister.
Yep.
She's doing great work out there, I'm sure.
I'm sure. Almost done with her master's.
Whoa.
Congrats.
Yeah.
Is she ever coming back?
In theory, yes. And we will all have to call her
That's
Master
awesome.
Chisholm.
That's awesome. Whoa. Okay. Okay. I would love nothing more than to just yak it up and have a silly off the rails pod.
Not the day for it.
Still be that. It can still be that, but yes, not the day for it. I'm rocking this beautiful Travis Hunter 16-bit t-shirt, dnvrlocker.com.
E12, man.
Check it out because we are getting through our defensive backs today. We're doing it.
We are.
And we're combo ranking them, which is really, again, what a time to be alive.
What a time.
I should mention, I am with Big Hank,
Yep.
the DNVR Broncos analyst extraordinaire.
Oh, not a master. But
Congrats, bro.
yeah.
I'm being an
Added
analyst
the extraordinaire.
extraordinaire.
Yep, added the extraordinaire.
Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah.
Exactly. Of
course.
Good answer. Good answer. And the man who you can hear the footsteps, the stampede coming when the Schwan man is with us, leading the charge for our Buffs coverage. Jake the Schwan man Schwanitz.
Thank you.
So yeah, just an honor to be with you boys. Just
Troy
an
gets it.
honor
Yeah, Troy.
to have done this with you guys all off season long. You know, it wasn't such a time to be alive in August when we had to figure out what topic are we going to cover today. But this is why we grind. This is why we grind for the big bright spotlight that we get this week, you know?
Yep. I'm starting to have a weird feeling where I don't want the draft to get here. Like I'm enjoying.
Welcome to
like
my
Christmas.
life.
Yeah, exactly. Like I've saved that for
Yes.
later. Like
Yes.
I love this pre-draft couple of days where there's just so much hope and joy.
Yep.
And it's all going to come and it's going to be way better, but then it's going to be gone.
There's a post-draft come down.
There is, and
It's why
I don't want that
become
come down.
an NBA draft expert for a month. I'm
Yeah.
weaning myself off.
NBA doesn't hit the same.
It really
No,
doesn't.
of course it does, but all you have to study is 60 prospects, so you can do
Right.
it as
Yeah.
like just a hobby on the side. It's
Exactly.
that easy.
Yeah.
This
Oh,
is our
boy.
5th draft doing this, I think.
I mean,
Yeah.
insane.
It is
Yeah.
crazy.
Time flies when you're having fun.
It does.
Again, I would love nothing more than to
No,
just
let's go,
do
let's
this.
go, let's go.
Yeah,
really-
yeah, seriously.
Let's go.
Yeah.
As you can
We're
see,
5 minutes
I
in.
really would love nothing more.
No,
but-
come on, let's go.
Okay, DBs, top fives.
Okay.
Top fives. Number
We'll do
one.
it- We'll do
oh,
it like we did
yeah,
last
I like
time.
this.
Yeah. Oh, well, first off, Travis, how do we treat him?
He's in.
He's a DB.
in.
Really?
We can make it a top 6 if that makes it easier.
Yeah, top
okay.
six.
Okay, top sixes.
Right.
Classic top
Like
sixes.
the Bet 365 lines where it says like Travis
Yep.
Hunter doesn't count.
Right,
Like, just
exactly.
forget him. He's a position on his own.
Yep.
Okay. Then DB1.
Yep.
1, 2, 3.
Travis Hunter.
Johnson.
No, we decided it's Travis Hunter. What is wrong with you, Dre? What is wrong with you?
I'm literally rocking the shirt.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy.
I've had a tough couple weeks. Okay.
Yeah.
What's been going on? Okay. So consensus.
Also next time let's go 3, 2, 1. Not
Okay,
1, 2, 3.
great.
But
You
just
ca-
while we're
you
giving out
count us
notes.
down. You
Okay,
count
cool.
us down.
So we're doing second guy?
Yeah. DB2.
Yeah.
DB2.
No need to talk about Travis.
Okay.
No,
Veteran
I
zone
think
the
we've
man.
done a lot of
Oh,
that.
There's
He's
a take.
the best.
Yep.
Yeah.
DB2. 3, 2, 1. Will
Johnny
Johnson.
Really?
Right? He told me before.
Give me the versatility, man.
Wow.
Is it
absolutely.
versatility or is it a lack of ability to play on the boundary?
I mean, that's a fair question, but I mean, the NFL, it's
Gotcha there.
the nickel has become a premium position almost at this point.
Almost. I just can't get there.
Okay.
And I honestly really struggled to figure out where to put Jahdae Barron. And I think when we combine all DBs,
Kind of a category in and of its own.
it's very difficult because we're combining corners and safeties and nickels and trying to figure out where to rank them. I struggled with that. But for a second there, I wasn't even sure Barron was like, I had him number 5 for a second. And I wound up bumping him up. But I do worry that even though like, he's a freak, runs a sub 4.4, 5'11", 194, great feel for the game, pass breakups, tied for second in the SEC, had 5 picks last year. Like there's a whole bunch of stuff to like. He can tackle. They played him at linebacker. They played him at safety. I still just wonder if I'd rather have somebody who's 6'3" and runs well and you know.
Personally, I'm a little freaked out by some Will Johnson injury stuff I've come across recently. I think he's a great player. Absolutely. He's going to make this top 5, top 6, whatever it is. Jahdae Barron just has proven production for like the 5 years, too. I mean, he goes back to 2020 here at Texas.
Yep.
226 total tackles, 21 TFLs, 8 picks, with 5 of them coming last year, as Hank said, and 11 PBUs. He's got the on-the-ball production. He's got the versatility. You can just kind of fit him at safety, nickel. I mean, you can get away with him playing some, I don't know, field corner if you want to, if you're worried about the boundary, whatever it is. But he's a very impressive player, I think.
He checks off all the boxes. And usually those guys who play in coverage and check off all the boxes, they're really valuable. I think he checks off all the boxes more as a football player than he does as a cover profile.
I agree.
Like, I worry about some of the press stuff. I worry about some of the boundary stuff. I worry about matching up with bigger wide receivers.
Yep.
I worry about the pure man corner stuff. Now, he ran way faster than I thought.
Me too.
And he's a bat out of hell coming downhill.
Yep.
And nickel, even some sort of safety. Like, could he be a strong safety?
That's what I'm saying.
Totally.
Could he be a Sanders? Who's Bob Sanders?
Yeah.
Wow.
Or, I mean,
I'm just saying,
we were
right?
we were
Like
talking
that-
about the honey badger
that
a little
small,
bit.
undersized,
Yeah.
like just bat out of hell, downhill. He's gonna punish you.
There's some honey badger vibes.
He's got some of that.
I mean, he's smaller, but he's can do, like, you can play him in the box, I think. Like, not maybe as much as Jamal Adams, but
Yeah.
you can sneak him down in there, and that's what he does best. He finds the football, man.
Yeah, I do wonder if he's being a bit overrated in his tackling run support because he's undersized. Like, I think that could
He is.
become a bit of a like a thing that gets him.
Won the Thorpe. Travis should have won the Thorpe, but
No doubt.
Is
no
that
doubt.
what this is?
No.
Okay.
No.
That'd be an amazing shtick. We
That
would
would be.
applaud you.
No.
We would
I
give
just
him
want
a
the
standing
versatility.
ovation, right?
The versatility, again, it's going to, as we go through these, that's, since we combine them, that's what I valued.
Okay.
Well, and it's funny. What scares me most is I don't know how much the NFL values. Now, the hype around Barron is that he's very liked within NFL circles.
Yes.
Probably more than media circles. When I used to do the film rooms, the work Hank does now, I was always so impressed by those guys who could do it all. I don't know that the NFL values those guys a ton.
I get that.
You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? Like the NFL would much rather you have the premium traits than you're a guy who like fits every need.
And that's the thing is the question is, can he do the thing that's hardest to do, which is line up against
Yeah.
number one receivers on the boundary and win? And
Yeah.
that's why I just think we haven't talked much about here. One more thing. So he's 5'11", 194. That's what he measured in at. Riley Moss came in at 6'1", 193. 30-inch arms for Riley Moss. 29 something. 29 and 5/8 for Jade Barron. So you look at kind of what Riley Moss was last year, and you saw some of the length deficiencies show up, and you're talking about a guy who has even less length. Again, Riley Moss, good player. But if you were to ask me, is Riley Moss ever going to be an all-pro? The answer is probably no, because he does have just that tick down. Now, Jade Barron has the other things that he does really well. I just can't quite get there as a lockdown number one. And there are other guys who I think have that potential.
Yes.
Like Will Johnson.
Like Will Johnson. I think I see Will Johnson very similarly to Sauce Gardner. Though I think I like his physical build, and I'm less scared off by some of the physicality concerns I had with Sauce. Who
And
was
level
a
of competition.
pretty slender.
Sure.
Yeah. Though that last year with Cincinnati, I
True.
think that was less of a concern. But yeah, I think this guy maybe isn't going to be an elite superstar lockdown, but can be a very, very good one that'll make a really healthy living and be like a top 10-ish paid guy at the position.
And like to me, just prototype number one corner. Again, I'm not sure he's going to wind up being he's not Revis Island type, but
Right.
you know, I also think that there might be a chance that he is.
Love it. DB 3.
Yep.
3, 2, 1.
Jade
Nick
Barron.
Omari. Dr. J concession. You're really dropping old Bill Johnson from here on known as BJ.
He'd be next
Okay.
to spoil my next guy. Again, versatility. It's a big safety. We talked about him at pick 20 for the Broncos for a little bit in this draft process.
Yeah.
I think that a lot of the comps that you've seen for him are those, like, I guess, Cam Chancellor type. I mean, he can be an enforcer. Just loved all that stuff. He had great production. Sorry, I don't have a laptop today. So
Great production.
I'm slow
Like,
on these.
that's honestly the thing that stands out the most. This past season, 4 interceptions, 2 of those he takes to the house. The season prior, 2 interceptions. And even as a freshman, he racked up 70-plus tackles.
85 is a true freshman.
Yeah, the dude just lives around the ball. I do see that, like, the tide's turning. He's starting to have a few more haters on draft Twitter, and I get it. I think he's falsely advertised. I think you see that size and you see those measurements, and everyone just wants to give the Derwin James comp and the Cam Chancellor and all, and it's like, I'm not sure he's that. He's a cover 2 safety with good size, good ball skills, pretty good instincts, though they can be refined, could take better angles, but has some real upside as a run defender and someone who can come downhill, could play in the box because he's got the size, he's got the downhill chops. So yeah, he checks off a lot of boxes, and I think could be a pretty versatile safety if he can just refine those instincts, which, as I've always said, last line of defense, plain safety, instincts is kind of 90% of the job.
It is.
Yeah. I think I've been overthinking him. I'll start there. I think that sometimes those guys who say like he could be at cover 2 safety, you could play him in the box, you could move him around. Sometimes you see all that and then you wind up saying, oh, he turned out to be a tweener. Like sometimes you just want a guy who's good at a position.
Right.
Also, sometimes you turn out to have Kyle Hamilton.
Yep.
So when I hear like, yeah, he's that big and he does that stuff, but he's a cover 2 safety, it's like, dude, I don't need him to be 220 then. Like I don't need that. It's cool that he has it, but again, I have to fight those feelings.
Right. No, you get enticed by all the sexy traits,
Yes.
and then you watch the tape, and it's like, oh, actually, that's kind of not the appeal at all.
It's like, and if
Like he doesn't play like that at all.
Right.
yeah. And would I honestly maybe even prefer sometimes that he's like 210 if that means that there's even a tick more? Like I'm not against it. But again, Kyle Hamilton, you could have said the same thing, and what did he go and do? So he's a really good player, and what I like is there's the production, there's the athleticism. I can't remember who it is, but some people try to take the game tape and try to measure for athleticism in games. There are different ways to do that, from top speeds to how often are you at that top, all that sort of stuff, and it's all kind of silly.
High roll.
But all those people do say that all the athleticism showed up on tape, and I would agree. And so they can measure it from there. It's not just this combine like, wow, he did this here. He's a good player, but I am daily just trying to fight my overthinking it, which is like maybe there are some tweener vibes, and it's like, do you really have all of this in one player, or do you have like 80% of it in all these different categories, and because of that, maybe he doesn't quite excel in one?
Yeah. Let's keep talking through that and the rest of our top 5 DBs. On the other side, where the Nick Anuari of cars, it's kind of Toyota.
Wow. Great comp. Great
Yeah,
comp.
it's a great comp. You know, Toyota SUVs, trucks, they're part of Toyota's DNA. That's like the box safety you get in Anuari. The way Anuari scored a perfect 10 RAS, you want to look at the safety testing that Toyota's doing. Here, let me tell you, buddy, you're in for a treat. And then, Anuari, he checks off all those boxes as a safe cover profile. That's Toyota for you.
Yep.
You need a cover 2 safety? That's right. Plenty of hybrid car options.
Yep.
Yes.
Wow.
Eco-friendly. Yeah, right. It's not just the box safety and the big trucks and SUVs. We've got hybrids and electric cars too. So yeah, Toyota, man, they're a safe prospect. They're true homies. We love them. We love working with them, and we love the Toyota studio. We love the Toyota chat. Leave us a thumbs up, baby. So yeah, visit your Front Range Toyota stores at a location near you. AutoNation Toyota, Arapahoe and Centennial, Corwin Toyota in Boulder, Groove Toyota in Littleton, Mountain States Toyota in Denver, Stevenson Toyota East in Aurora, Stevenson Toyota West in Lakewood. Toyota, the official automotive partner of the NFL and the official vehicle of DNVR. Let's go places. And then our dear friends at Bet365. We were talking about it off air.
We were.
Hank kind of proposed an over-under game of how many draft props did I have placed on the Bet365 app. And we came out at 19. Bless you, Jake. Bless you again. Bet365, all sorts of amazing draft props. I am still in on the over Big 12 prospects. I've got many theories, so stay tuned on this here show about what draft props you should take.
Can I give you
betting Avs and Nuggets, and Henry's going to give us a tip.
a DB theme? Minus 140 for Will Johnson to be the second cornerback taken. So essentially in front of Barron. Yep. Hunter, Will Johnson, minus 140.
That's tight.
I like it. I took it.
That is pretty dang tight. They're also the official partner of the Denver Nuggets, which you love to see. And right now, at sign up, when you use our code DNVR365 QR code, link in the description, $10 minimum bet, $5 or $10 minimum deposit, $5 minimum bet. As soon as that's settled, bang bang, 150 in bonus bets in your account like that. Maybe I'll just do that with Kate instead of re-upping, since I've got all these futures and the account's slow. Must be 21 plus, physically located in Colorado. Please gamble responsibly. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call or help, call or text 1-800.
Do you need some help?
Yeah, I do need some help. I do. In fact, I'm expecting you to step in the ball knowers bonus on.
No,
the
I'm
next
stepping in for the ball nose bonus
break. I know you will.
because I know ball.
You do.
Facts.
You do. Okay. DB4.
DB4.
So can I make a quick change?
Yeah.
Nick Evan-Warry is now my number 3. Sorry, Jadae Barron. I was in a low point with the tweener stuff. I need to.
This is great.
Yep. Live change.
Learning
So I have a new
from
number
our
4.
mistakes. I love it. I'm considering a live change myself right this moment.
Oh.
Let's do it. I'm ready. Are y'all?
Yep.
DB4. 3, 2, 1.
Jadae
Siobhan
Barron.
Ravel.
Whoa.
Dre, I love it.
You call your shot, yeah.
I love it, Dre.
Yeah, so East Carolina's finest. He is
East Carolina, where Jaquan McMillan played famously.
yeah.
I was with Jaquan when he found out that Siobhan tore his ACL.
Go Pirates.
Go Pirates.
Right?
As they
'cause,
probably
they
say.
are Pirates. Also, did you guys see Coach O speak in French?
No. What's Coach O up to these days?
Learning
Spot?
French.
Speaking French?
Yeah.
Well, it's Louisiana French.
Yeah. Kind of, in
Anyways.
some ways, our Quebec.
Yeah, kind of is. It
Except
kinda is.
they actually learn how to speak that language.
I think the vibe in Quebec is pretty similar to what the vibe is in New Orleans if you talk to
Really?
people
I got to get to Quebec.
in their own way. Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Okay. I'll put it on the list.
Super duper long, perfect outside cover, corner. I think the upside through the roof, ball skills for days, just Gumpy level fluidity.
Gumby.
Yeah,
Not
thank you.
Gumpy.
I mean,
Gumpy sounds not good.
honestly, important correction.
Yeah. No,
Really
He is not
important.
Gumpy. He's Gumby.
No, I thank you for that. And yeah, I think the upside's through the roof. It seems like he's recovering well from this ACL, which would have been the only concern. And if it wasn't for that, he's probably got a set and forget first round grade for me.
Probably.
I'll have him later on my list.
Oh.
He really only has 1 year of production though.
Yep.
Yeah.
He kind of got the short end of the stick during COVID because he was playing at a community college then, played 2 years there, transferred to East Carolina, didn't do much in 22, and then just went crazy last year in 2024, or I'm sorry, 23, and then
Right.
2024, he tears the ACL in practice. So, I mean, the tape is great. It's just you have the injury, and is he a 1 year wonder
Right.
against lower competition?
But that profile you just described, upside through the roof.
True.
Absolutely.
Like they get this guy at 51.
Yep.
We're cooking with gas, you know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Like he could be really a tremendous value in a guy who should have gone like 30 spots earlier. That we look back and we're like, oh yeah, he was one of the best 15 players in this draft.
Yep. I had Will Johnson great player.
Yeah. Well,
just
Dr.
there's-
Schwanitz, I mean, he's got to look at
Of course,
the medical.
yeah. There's some
Yeah.
injury stuff. I mean, he didn't play a lot this year. I mean, I can't remember what happened exactly, but he had a pick 6 in the USC game. Like, looked to be having a strong season, and then it was like a week in, week out thing. Is Will going to play this week? Is he not? And then he like opts out the rest of the season at a certain point in November, I believe. But I don't know. I've just seen that some teams could possibly be scared of the long-term effects of whatever injury he's sustained.
I mean, that's good insights and certainly something to consider right there.
Yep.
And I think it's something that if he were still available at the Broncos pick, we should be talking through
Most definitely.
when that's on the board.
Absolutely.
Who'd you have, Hank? Barron?
Barron. Yeah.
Okay. Not very high on Malachi Starks, this group, huh?
Interesting.
It is interesting. He would be next up for me.
That's who I'd have next.
It's that DB5.
Yes.
DB5.
Was that who would be DB5 for
I
you?
have him 6.
Lay it on me.
So I decided that this is
Oh,
another
boy.
big picture. I think that we go a little bit too chalk. Not us here, but I had this thought while we were doing the podcast day where it's like we look at the mock draft and it's like this is the picks are a little different, but a lot of time our mock draft very similar to other mock drafts. Sometimes you just have to call your shot. I'm going Darian Porter. from Iowa State.
DB 6 for me.
I
Very
think,
good,
I mean,
Henry, very good.
6'3", 4'3", 40. Right there, you got to really like it. Like, that's a nice starting point.
Converted wide out.
Converted wideout in 2022. Finally became a starter this year. Played really well. Ball skills, all that stuff. Super fluid. Like, yeah, he's raw. He's a project. He probably isn't going to be like a day one starter, but when you see a guy like that with those ball skills, the upside's just insane. And especially if you tweak this for a Broncos lens and say, what could the Broncos use? You put a playmaker like that across from Pat Surtain, and you just get so big and long and fast. Darian Porter, this is pretty high probably for him, but
No, I agree.
he's a freak.
Call your shot, bro.
Yep.
I agree. The upside with him is very intriguing.
Yep.
No doubt about it. And Starks, I think, really reliable deep safety.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't think the range is elite. I don't think the ball skills are elite. I don't think the run support's necessarily elite. I think it's good. I think some might be very good. Meh. You know? And I think there's a reason the talk of him going top 15 has really slowed down.
The combine scores were fine too.
Yep,
Like nothing
yep.
that really popped off the tape.
Yep.
This kid, though, all he's done is kind of just what was expected of him. He was a 5-star recruit, comes into Georgia, finalist for the freshman year award for the freshman of the year in 2022.
It was like the big out of conference game that season, maybe against Clemson. He had like a monster pick.
Yeah.
And I think I said on the draft pod following up that game was like, pencil him in for the 2025 draft. Like,
Exactly.
He's a name to follow.
First team All-American in 23, second team All-American in 24, had production on the ball, production around the line of scrimmage. He's just if you just need a safety, like a very reliable safety, he's a great pick. I don't know if he's ever going to end up being a top 5 safety in the league type of player.
Yep.
Yep. No, I agree.
I would also agree. He was my number 6 since we're doing top 6s.
Yeah, good football player.
So the line for over under safeties in the first round is set at 1.5.
Okay.
What do you guys think? You think Starks gets in?
What's our juice? I do think he gets in.
I'll find that for you in a second.
Also, currently Starks favored to be the first safety off the board. He's
and
minus
Omarion
115.
105, I think, is a good bet.
Yeah, I think I took it.
Yep.
Over.
The juice is under 1.5 is plus 225. Over is minus
yeah.
300.
Oh, wow.
I can't do
So
it.
they think both of those guys are a lock.
Yeah.
I think there's a good chance one of them slips out of the first round.
And I think
and
Starks
there's
would be the
some
one.
good value on under.
I think Starks would be the one.
1,000%.
Yeah.
I feel like we see that guy drop every single year.
Yep.
That's much more of a top 40 pick than it is a first round.
Yeah.
Corner set at 4.5.
So that'd be Travis, Will,
Barron,
Barron.
and then 2 others.
I don't know if Ravel goes. Who am I missing?
Johnson,
But
Barron.
I
You
think
have
there's
3 locks.
You have
Oh,
like
Hairston. Hairston's
Max-
also
yep.
attending the draft. He's going to be in Green Bay on the stage. If you read into that.
Maxwell from Kentucky,
Yeah.
who the Broncos brought in for an old
Yes.
visitoroo.
And then I've seen a lot of
One
people
of-
like Trey Amos too going in that
Yeah.
back into the first round. race.
Maxwell Hairston, one of the guys who makes people think that Matthew Golden's speed didn't show up on tape because he's running around with Hairston, who also is crazy fast and didn't outrun him.
Gotcha.
Yeah, very fast.
Tommy Hill is huge, the Nebraska
Okay.
corner. Huge.
How huge?
So the only guy with arms as long as Siobhan Ravel, 32-inch plus.
Okay.
Which, like Will Campbell, that's appropriate arm
Yeah.
size. Learn from that. He also weighs 213 pounds. Mamma mia, they would say in Italy.
Mamma mia.
Yeah. Big
Wow.
boy.
That is a big boy.
You've got some
It's like
big
Pat
guys.
Surtain, big boy.
You've got some smaller guys in this class, you know?
Maxwell Hairston.
Similar to life. Yeah. Bigs and smalls together in the cornerback class.
Yeah.
You guys got a favorite sleeper? Can we move on to Broncos talk?
I'll
Go
throw
ahead.
Benjamin Morrison in there. He's been one of my guys for forever. Notre Dame. So Notre Dame
rules.
playing man defense all year. Or that's kind of how they fixed it. Is just like,
Sure.
we're going to rush. We're going to ask these guys to cover. And he did it. Freshman All-American who kind of maybe stayed similar to the player he was as a freshman. 6 foot 193, not the greatest athlete. You wonder about the upside. You wonder if he's just a guy who, in a good defense, was able to like handle his job.
Sounds like a great player.
But I mean, you look at what he did, and he won all the time.
Mention how like Notre Dame still had the best season they've had in 3 decades once he got injured and out for the rest of the year.
Yeah, so that part wasn't as good. But I think he was awesome. He locked everybody down. If he's still there, 2nd round pick. I think
we should clip this and send it to his family.
Yeah, that wasn't the best, was it?
It wasn't.
Yeah. I really like him.
We do actually like Benjamin Morrison.
We do like Benjamin Morrison.
Even though Henry found only negative things to share about him.
He locked up everybody he played against.
Do you have a sleeper you'd like to share?
I do. I've got a few.
Did he play at the University of Colorado for him?
We'll get to one of those guys. Cornerbacks, Noel Williams. He caught my eye because DJ put him in like his latest like top 150 or whatever.
Cal.
Yeah. Cal has had a
ACC's finest
quiet DB pipeline over the last 5 or so
wow.
years.
True.
So keep an eye on him.
Yep.
I've seen a lot of buzz for Justin Wally out of Minnesota. Do you know who this is?
I've heard that as well.
This guy and this
you guys are hearing all this Justin Wally buzz?
I've heard Justin Wally buzz, yes.
Bro,
I'm hanging out in the wrong corners of the internet.
Truthfully, I literally heard this like 2 days ago, so I haven't dug into the tape. But I looked into obviously the stats. 4-year player, 4-year starter, has 155 career tackles, 7 career interceptions, 27 career pass breakups. He had 10 of those and 2 picks in this last year. He's listed at 5'11", 185, so a bit on the slighter side of things, but he's caught my eye. And then when it comes to the safety, we didn't mention Xavier Watts.
Yes.
True.
Yes.
Another kind of undersized guy, but just flies around the football.
Yep.
Instincts for days. I like Moore from Michigan as well.
I'd throw Andrew Makuba from Clemson in there.
He's awesome.
He is awesome.
Well, Texas,
sorry, the orange.
Former Clemson,
the orange.
And then Cameron Soman, Craig. I mean, look, man, he's undersized. He wasn't invited to the Combine, one. Colorado safety, by the way. But
shame on you.
The dude is just around the football constantly. Plays with his hair on fire. I mean, he's someone that he's going to make a camp or something, and you're just going to hear this guy just keeps making plays on the other side of the ball. Like, he might even steal a roster spot from someone. So give me someone like Cam who's just super competitive.
I like it. The chat's just on their own journey, and I love that for them. And as they're on their own journey, Hank, I know you've got something to tell us about.
Oh, yes. Big Brothers. Sorry, no. From our own, I panicked over that one. From the
Ball knowers.
It starts with a B. It starts with a B. The B. Damn it! This is my one job.
Man,
the
he was
ball
stranded
knower.
at sea there.
The ball knower bonus. BKB.
Yep.
So essentially, the way the ball knower bonus works,
you can bet on the draft
in a different, new, fun way.
You're right.
Yes. So the ball knower bonus is that if you know ball, when you go and you buy something, another B, you buy something from the All City store, you'll get asked this little question, which is, will Travis Hunter be a top 2 pick or not? And you make your decision. Is he a top 2 pick or not? The answer is yes, he will be a top 2 pick.
Right.
So you
but choose your own adventure.
Choose the wrong adventure if you want.
Journeys,
yeah, I mean, you could end up in a volcano for any of you who wind up with an actual choose your own adventure book. Choose the right way.
Yeah.
Stay alive. And if you get it right, you will get a gift card for the value of your order. So essentially, your money back in the form of a gift card. Our version of a free bet, as some have said.
Yeah.
You head over to Bet365. Not Bet365. Sorry, I was thinking of betting. Another B. All these B words. You go over there. Important distinction. You have to click the link in the show notes in order to get prompted. So you go down to the show notes. You click it. You buy something. After you buy something, you answer the question. Boom. There you go.
Are you talking about the YouTube description?
YouTube description, yeah, and potentially podcast description too. Who's to say?
All right, send me to UC Health. And I mean, it's a perfect transition. It's a perfect transition.
Oh, are you going to talk about mental health?
Because we are in fact brought to you by UC Health, the preferred partner of athletes in Colorado.
Oof.
Or stressed out podcast co-hosts.
I think
who swear they gave very specific instructions.
Very specific, someone
to their
said.
co-host and colleague and dear friend.
Who might be getting sent to UC Health after this.
Right. and then that doesn't happen, So how do you manage? How do you manage stress? That's where I'm finding, I know this stuff upsets you, right? And yeah, objectively it might be upsetting, but why are we letting it make me so upset? Let's chill out. That's how I'm choosing to take care of myself. So breathing exercises, boy, those go a long way.
Yeah. Want me to teach you some?
Not getting all cranked up on caffeine.
Oh,
but then
that'll do
I'm
it.
so much better cranked up on caffeine.
Of course.
So balancing that, all the dilemmas I'm going through, and you may be going through as well. And if that's the case, learn more about living life like there is a tomorrow, unlike what's happening to Henry.
Yeah,
after
there
the
will
show.
not be. It's tomorrow.
Go to uchealth.org for more info. UC Health, live, that's right, extraordinary.
As former Minnesota wide receiver Tyler Johnson says in the chat,
TJ.
man, that was tough to follow.
We made it through, though, boys. We made it through.
Oh, Tyler, just go buy a shirt. You'll be asked the question. You place away, you one or the other on Travis Hunter. Bang. If that hits and you were correct, coupon sent your way for what, a free shirt?
For the value of your order. Also, just to
right. So you place, you buy a shirt, $34.99, and then you were right because you very smartly, astutely by you, Tyler.
Yes.
Tyler, yeah.
Former Minnesota receiver Tyler Johnson.
And then, voila, boom, $34.99 back at you, and you can go re-up right then and there. It's a beautiful thing.
I will say, if I were to have written
clarity,
the notes for the ad myself, I would have included, you have to click the show notes thing at the top, so it's all in chronological order.
Right.
But hey.
Right.
You know.
Right. And if we had time, I would get into how, not only that, Reed, but both of you showed up so late at this show.
You were here after.
It gives me anxiety.
I was here before you.
I told you where I was going.
I was here before you.
In the news studio, it was a whole and
what?
Both of us.
You guys aren't. You're not thinking of living life like there's a tomorrow.
Oh yeah, because we're getting murdered.
You're stressing me out.
Okay, Broncos talk. Oh, also great question in the chat for me specifically. If the Broncos draft a quarterback in the 6th round with one of those 6th-round picks, who could that be?
Okay.
Well, this is just an opportunity to talk about some FCS quarterbacks. That's what I'm hearing.
Okay.
How about one Cam Miller, who the Broncos have been kind of interested in. NDSU quarterback.
North Dakota State's finest.
Has
Jake scouted him live.
Won all sorts of games. Has won championships. Awesome quarterback. As you'd expect, a little undersized. The athleticism really carries him.
Mobile, though.
Yep, exactly. I would really like that. And while we're talking FCS quarterbacks, who I believe both played in the national championship this year, Montana State's Tommy Mellott. I hate the guy. We just got to get that out of the way. I hate the guy.
Yeah. Go Cats.
Well, no, but I hate
My
the guy.
bad.
So the first 3 years he's a quarterback who can't throw the football. The 4th year though, he did learn just enough how to play quarterback. There's been talk of him being like the Julian Edelman type, where he actually
clip for the family.
Yeah.
Nice.
If you're listening, family, I hate you. Butte, Montana.
Oh, Lord.
No longer a fan. But yeah, he's just a freak athlete.
Good.
Similar. He took over for Troy Anderson.
Of course.
So Troy Anderson goes on to play linebacker, but was playing quarterback, running back, all sorts of stuff. Same mold. Yeah. If you're looking for Taysom Hills, Tommy Mellott, that's that guy.
I like it.
And I hate him.
I like it Mellott.
Oh, you like it a lot.
Well, I gotta find the silver lining somewhere, Broncos? Straight to Broncos talk?
Yes.
I got in the rundown. I had more rumors, top 10, but let's go Broncos first. Leggy or Cliz?
Leggy.
Yeah, let's go Leggy first.
Yeah, so Leggy threw Jeff Legwald, ESPN's own
Famously.
friend of the show. He's nice to you,
Yeah,
I assume.
very nice to me.
Impressors? There you go. That's,
Not at war with his family?
that makes him a friend of the show.
It does.
I don't know that I get that reference, but I won't take the bait. Please, Lord, make me not take the bait. I pray for the tranquility that you bring me.
Oh, that caffeine's really doing.
Throughout working overtime. Throughout five names at RB for the Broncos.
Yeah.
Let's go.
And they're not the names everyone else is throwing out there. Leggy did some
Yeah.
work, and we love to
Some
see
leg
it.
work.
TreVeyon Henderson, that is the one that everyone is throwing out there.
That's my guy.
Please don't make me take the bait. Then Dylan Sampson, Tennessee's own.
SEC Offensive Player of the Year.
He is fantastic.
I should look at a list of SEC Offensive Player of the Years to see if that's actually a list of like
You know
really
what,
really
Henry?
good players, which it might be.
We can do this. I won't have it right now, but
We'll just sit quietly.
Trevor Etienne, Travis's
Yep.
brother.
Yep.
LeQuint Allen from Syracuse.
Played more slot
Okay.
receiver than any other running back in this draft.
Quite a few receptions to his tally. And unlike some of the other receiving backs, the Brashard Smiths, the Marcus Yarns, he is over 200 pounds, so a bit bigger. And then Cam Skattebo, a guy we are all fans of, especially the two of y'all.
Yep. Mm-hmm. I mean, Cam Skattebo's awesome. He runs guys over. He makes little moves. He's awesome.
and he's got that dog in him.
You in on all of those guys? I thought it was interesting the names he threw out. Outside of the SEC guys, obvious, like, oh yeah, they've got receiving chops. And then the two SEC guys, I think, have big upside and are probably being undervalued tremendously. And I think Leggy mentioned the Broncos had coaches in attendance at both pro days who did extra work with them.
Quick little my guys rankings.
Of course.
For me, 1 Skattebo, 2 Henderson, 3 LeQuint Allen, 4 Dylan Sampson, 5 Trevor Etienne.
Okay.
That'd be, and it's not that I don't like Etienne. It's just that I really like Dylan Sampson, but I really like all these guys.
Samson's fantastic.
He
If
is.
they were able to get Sampson outside of the first round, he's only 200 pounds. I think that's the only knock on him. He runs like he's 215.
Yep.
His ability to run between the tackles is really impressive. Very competitive, like puts his head down, breaks tackles, and then has the long speed too.
Yep.
And yeah, it was a beast in the goal line. I think Leggy's article mentioned like 8 of his 11 touches on the goal line were turned into touchdowns. So yeah, he'd be a really, really interesting pickup.
Strez upset in the chat. Skattebo at 1. That's not because I think
Strez
he's
is
the
a
best.
legend, and
Those
Strez,
are
if
just
I'm
my
not
guys.
mistaken, played running back.
I believe that's actually correct. Strez, it's not that I think
know ball.
Skattebo's bigger than or better than Henderson. It's a my guys ranking.
Exactly.
In terms of my guys, I really like him. The fact that you could snag, I like him in the 4th a lot better than Henderson in the 1st.
I also thought it was interesting Leggy didn't mention Omarion Hampton.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Just saying.
Just saying.
Running backs to win SEC Offensive Player of the Year. Dylan Sampson, of course. 2017 was the last one. Kerryon Johnson.
Dang.
That's not good. But 2015, Derrick Henry. Good.
He was good. Yes.
2011 or 2013, Trey Mason, Auburn.
Oh, can I
Not
guess?
good.
Most recent before that, Noshawn Moreno.
Nope. Trent Richardson, not good.
Mark Ingram.
Mark Ingram.
Good.
And then Darren McFadden twice. And then Artis Pinner. I don't know.
Okay.
Huh?
Okay. Yeah, no, totally. where do artists play?
Kentucky, 2002. Slightly before my time.
Right, because of famously you were born in 03.
No. I just wasn't a 9-year-old NFL draft analyst.
Could you,
know what I
imagine?
mean?
We gotta get.
I don't know. I think Hank and I at 9
Yeah.
we're throwing out
And
out some scouting nuggets. You
If
know?
not me, then my 9-year-old will be.
yeah, no,
Yeah. My
I
future
think-
9-year-old, to
I think
clarify.
she has well on her way, no doubt, no doubt. Okay. Anything else on that? Should we move on to the 9 names Cliz threw
Yeah,
out?
I think
please.
we can move. Well, yeah.
So Cliz threw out 3 running backs. the 2 Ohio State kids and Hampton, 2 tight ends, Tyler Warren and Colston Loveland, 3 defensive linemen, Derrick, Harmon and Walter Nolen and Kenneth Grant, and then 1 wide receiver. And I thought this 1 wide receiver was interesting that he was the only wide receiver mentioned, Matthew Golden. And then mere 24 hours after Kliz's article, Hank, one of the insiders, I'll say rap sheet, threw out that there's buzz around the Broncos trying to move up for Matthew Golden, whose over-under draft position at Bet365 is set at 17.5.
I think you're right about Rappaport.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It's an
That's
irrelevant
not the point.
detail.
That's not the point. Yeah.
Yeah, we're not sending the clip to their family. So
First of all, super casual list in terms of just like this list of players. Like that's the same.
Wow.
I mean, it's just the truth, right?
I mean, truthfully,
Like, what's
like, do you even know ball?
the hot take there is that Kenneth Grant is in the conversation. It's like that's not even that hot of a take. But I do agree.
I think the headline's Matthew Golden.
I think the one receiver and it is Matthew Golden. I think that is the takeaway here.
The takeaway, also the honorable mentions: Harold Fannin Jr., Giad Campbell, Caleb Johnson.
And that's where it gets more interesting.
Harold Fannin Jr.
Big fan.
This is not a drill.
Not a drill at all. Caleb Johnson, also awesome. Okay, you don't like the big old guy who breaks a bunch of tackles because the tackle
Melvin
breaking
Gordon.
doesn't look...
Well, if he broke it when he has contact around the line of scrimmage, it'd be a different story.
Okay.
I can break tackles with a head of steam, you know? If you shot me out of a cannon, I bet you
I have a feeling we're going to be trying that here in a second.
Let's do it.
I have a little Oklahoma drill after this one.
Oh, man, that'd be amazing.
That actually would be.
I think you guys need it.
I need a real head of steam, though.
Okay. Do I also get a head of steam?
Of course.
Wow.
Golden,
You
a
know,
trade up
it's
for Golden, I
real
don't know how
steamy.
I feel about, to be completely honest.
Frankly, sickening.
Yeah.
To me, it would be sickening.
Yeah.
Also, I'm surprised by it. I'm surprised by it because, again, he kind of feels like we're not buying Matthew Golden at the store. We have Matthew Golden at home. His name is Marvin Mims.
Here's a thought. So we've talked a lot about how the Broncos have 3 of their top 4 defensive linemen on expiring contracts.
Uh-huh.
Marvin Mims' contract expires the next year. So if you look one more page ahead,
Whose contract expires
Marvin
next year?
Mims. So you do have him 2 more years, but
Making me sad now.
you have this year, which is probably a growth year for a guy like Matthew Golden who needs a little bit more polish, you would think. And then the next year you have Mims in a contract year, you have Golden. So I think it could line up. Also, Luke Wattenberg, free agent after this year, Ben Powers and Alex Forsythe the next year. Sneaky interior offensive line need.
What you just said about Golden, I mean, he's had a great year. He had a great last 5 games.
Yeah.
Right?
Those 5 games.
Game
Ooh,
wonder.
Yeah.
5-game wonder.
Is he ready to come in and just line up alongside or across the field from court? I don't know at this point.
It was also interesting because last couple episodes we talked about only wide receiver that Sean's drafted in the first round is Braden Cooks.
And Robert Meacham.
Yeah, Meacham a while ago.
Yep.
I actually
man.
knew that correction was coming. Golden, very Cooks-esque.
I can see that.
Yeah.
Probably bigger though, for sure, right?
I bet you he's taller and Cooks was heavier.
Yeah.
And I don't know. Does this offense need a Brandon Cooks? I don't know. Does any offense need a Brandon Cooks?
No,
That
I've
is a
always
real
thought
question.
that if you're going to go get a receiver, you need someone who can get yourself open, which is why I like Digbuka so much for the Broncos, because you can scheme him open, you can line him up anywhere, he can run himself open with routes,
Yeah.
he's reliable. There's a few guys later in the draft, like, the Torrey Hortons of the world, the LeJohntay Westers of the world, that could also fit that archetype. Golden, yeah.
I know. I'd be excited about the D linemen. I'd be excited. The tight ends would be fine. Henderson would be amazing. Hampton, I've talked myself into. Judkins,
At 20, no.
that would be interesting. I put out a tweet yesterday, like, to get yourself hyped for Judkins to the Broncos, you got to go watch that Ole Miss tape.
You're right.
Yeah.
Like, that's
Yep.
where you see the vision for Judkins in this offense. He just playing off Henderson as the, like, bell
between the
cow
tackles,
first
yeah.
and second down back, you're not getting the full effect
Right.
of what this kid could really
But
be.
I mean, Sean Payton always uses a 2-back system. I would still say Judkins more likely to be the Mark Ingram than the Alvin Kamara.
Certainly.
So, I mean, there is that aspect of like, it's nice that he can do those other things, but his bread and butter is still probably going to be more so between the tackles. Although versatility does open things up.
There might be some Kamara utility to him.
So maybe a world in which Judkins is your Kamara and Estime's your Ingram for a year.
I mean,
Don't like that.
I think they still need 2 backs.
Yep.
Probably.
And I mean, let's see. I think free agency could still be an option post-draft.
Yeah.
You know, and
Bit
I mean,
chubbed.
sounds like the Seahawks are trying to shop their couple of Charbonnet and K9, you know.
That would be fun.
So
I like both of
who
them.
knows?
Zach
Maybe
Polk.
that would be an option. J.K. Dobbins still out there, you know.
Bring Zach
Um,
in.
Also, some rumors as of this week that Derrick Harmon may be dropping a little because of some medical stuff.
Oh.
So could he just kind of fall in the Broncos' laps? Another guy you could put the 1-year wonder label on
Yeah.
because he really emerged at Oregon, but boy, he's got it all, man. He'd be
He
a
does.
fantastic defensive lineman.
Yeah. I liked him a lot.
I know Broncos country is pretty hyped about Walter Nolen. I think Derrick Harmon's the guy who'd get me quite hyped.
Any interest?
Quite.
Crazy scenario. Mason Graham's still on the board. Would you have any interest in taking either of them over Mason Graham?
No,
Okay. We're not to that level.
I wouldn't.
No, I think I would take Mason Graham.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Just we've on Broncos podcast in particular, it's been a low couple Mason Graham days. There's a little hype for him.
Yeah. People are starting to sour a little on Mason.
Baldy
just-
had soured.
I just
Happens
don't
to us
know.
all, right?
He's a good player. I just don't know if he'll
He's
be
a good player.
the top
Yep.
5 3 technique in the NFL.
Yep.
I think he quite clearly won't be.
I would agree.
Yeah.
So at 20, if you get yourself at least an average to above average starter, then yeah.
Totally.
Yeah, for sure.
Again, yeah. The upside of those other guys would tempt me though.
Right now, if you look at mocks, you look at draft odds, everyone's kind of predicting the same exact thing.
No one knows what's going to happen in this draft. I
And
don't
so
think.
everybody just keeps
It's
saying
becoming
and mocking the
so
same things.
chalky, and I'm telling you, like,
That's not how the draft works.
it's not going down like that.
No,
It
we're
just
going to get to Thursday
isn't going
night,
down
and
like that.
Walter Nolan's gonna fall, or Mason Graham's gonna fall out of the top 10, or Will Johnson's gonna be the number 4 pick, or there's gonna be all these crazy things that happen at the top, and all the mocks are kind of meaningless.
We do have Daniel Jeremiah's mock draft to look out for, and that last one from
Oh.
him usually you can. That's where he kind
Some
of just
bangers.
empties the bag and just lets
There
it
are
all
always
out. before
a couple really good ones to
Kuiper
watch.
as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah,
Because right now it is assumed that it's going to be Cam Ward 1 to Tennessee, Travis Hunter 2 to Cleveland, Abdul Carter 3 to the Giants, Will Campbell 4 to the Pats, 5 starting to lean more
Yeah.
Ashton Genty than Mason
Yep.
Graham, but it was kind of assumed the Mason Graham spot.
Yep.
There's some buzz at 6 that it could be Membow now, but I think Graham could be in play. Genty obviously has been the hot name at 6 for the Raiders for a while. Tyler Warren was the popular pick at 7. There's more Membow buzz. 8 for Carolina. Jalen Walker is kind of the presumed locked in pick. Look, just that top 8. Will Campbell, Jalen Walker especially, I don't get it.
I would agree.
If we abide by the same standards that we hold all these other prospects to, they don't check off the boxes to be a set and forget top 5, top 8 pick. They just don't.
Yeah, plus 550 for Membow to be the first offensive lineman taken.
Yeah.
I took him this morning.
And then 9, yeah, I took that a couple weeks ago, plus 110. I
Yeah.
think that's a lock. Membow
Yeah.
first. O-lineman. 9 is the first pick that the odds are in the plus for the prospect to be drafted there. But everyone's
Crazy.
got Shador, and then Jackson Dart has the second shortest odds. And then 10 with the Bears. Who knows? Maybe it's a Mason Graham that falls, a Genty that falls.
Tyler Warren.
One of those O-linemen, Membow or Campbell fall. I'm just telling you, man. This draft of all the drafts is not going chalk.
Nope.
It just isn't. You
Yep.
are bound to have surprises.
Yep.
And I think Shador's going to go way higher than anyone thinks.
Yep.
I think Shador's going to go at 3.
I sprinkled T-Mac to go 5th overall.
I did as well.
Plus 1,600. I think that's moved to like plus 600.
Yeah, it was 600 I got this morning.
So again.
Yep. You got me
that
there.
Movement alone should be.
Yeah.
And the Jets, just this assumption of like, oh yeah, the Jets are just going to draft another O-lineman. It's like, those guys, like that GM's job is on life support. Seriously, that's what you're going to do? Just another tight end or D lineman, O lineman? Like, no way. No way, man.
So what are you saying? Draft Shador?
Hampton?
I would draft Shador in a second.
Okay.
I think watch out for Milroe if they love Justin Fields. I think, who knows, Jackson? I think Milroe goes way higher than people think.
Do you think like top half of the first round? Steelers at 21?
I think like top 25 pick could very much be in the
That
mix.
would be insane.
So
It would be insane. But
Right.
I just think you've learned some, like,
right now, James Pierce Jr. is minus 200 to go before Jalen Milroe. I think it's plus 140 on the other side.
Well, and it was an interesting report from Daniel Jeremiah, I think, that some teams are willing to overlook off-field red flags with Walter Nolen, Mike Green, and James Pierce Jr. And it brought up all the, like, a couple teams that are pass rush needy, like the Bengals and Cardinals, maybe.
Yep.
So, I mean, I think those guys' stocks could be all over the place.
Yep.
I
Matthew
think the
Golden
wide
stock.
I think.
Yep.
Also, I think every year, as of late, the media underrates where the wide receivers go.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then the draft comes around, and it's like, oh, Jordan Addison and Smith and Jigba and all these guys go higher than we expected.
Yeah.
Mecca Igbuka line set at 29.5. Minus 270 on the under. But that's, I mean, it's going way under. It's minus 250 for there to be 3 receivers in the first round. That's a lock.
And speaking of wide receivers now, LB3 to be a first rounder is like plus 200.
Wide receiver is
That's
just one of those
tempting.
positions though where we've seen runs.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like
Yeah.
3 out of 4, 3 in a row even, I think, even in that year when Addison and Smith and Jigba went. So, and it happens too at the top of the second round. I remember, wasn't that like where DK Metcalf, AJ Brown, like whatever year that was, 2018, 2019, those guys all went around the second round too.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, I felt like, even last year where maybe the run started more at the top of the second round, a lot of guys went at the top of the
And I
second
think
round.
that could happen again. Like Trey Harris is going to be
For
right there
sure.
too.
For
Like
sure,
Trey Harris in the first round to me feels just a little bit crazy. 34 though, all of a sudden you're like, yeah,
Exactly.
that's
Exactly.
Yeah. So,
What else do we have on the rundown?
some pretty
Final predictions?
intriguing stuff. Yes, final predictions. Who you got? Broncos first 3 picks.
What I want is TreVeyon Henderson.
Yes, same. And I think that would be gun to my head my pick for who they select at 20.
Okay.
I don't think they move
think
up.
so,
I
too.
don't think they move down. And I think TreVeyon Henderson's most likely to be the selection.
Maybe we start. Do they pick at 20, or do they pick anywhere else in the first round?
I think they trade up.
Really?
You do, huh?
I think they trade up. And if
Targeting-
I'm calling my shot. I think they trade up. I think they find a way to get Genty, and I think
Wow.
that there's no second round pick, and you wind up with Harold Fannin in the third.
Wow.
The odds have moved to where they are the 4th shortest odds to take Genty.
I think that's the
That would be
dream scenario for them.
electric, bro.
And I think they're also willing to trade up. Like if Genty goes 6, maybe it's Tyler Warren who falls, and you get him at 10 or 11 or 12. But I think it is a trade up.
I don't think we've talked. I missed the tight end episode, but I think
You did, yeah.
there's a lot of people who don't view Colston Loveland that much differently than they view Tyler Warren.
Yeah.
And Daniel Jeremiah talks about it a lot, how he talks about Colston Loveland and how if there's any team that he's an ideal for, it's the Denver Broncos in terms of what Sean Payton likes to do with having big targets on the outside, the use of the tight end in the past, and the Broncos need for, they get Evan Ingram, but we've heard so much about this Joker talk, and that's exactly what Colston Loveland would do. You can go into the season with Ingram, but if it's as important as Sean Payton says, I wouldn't be surprised if he tries to maybe it is just Fan in the third, like you were just saying. But Colston Loveland is someone I wouldn't sleep on as well.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm going to go TreVeyon Henderson. I'll go D lineman, someone who drops. As we're going to overtime, check us out, thednvr.com, to catch all our other content. Like Dion Walker. And then I think they get like a Torrey Horton, Harold Fannin Jr. in round 3.
Okay.
I hope they come with one of the 3 Colorado wide receivers.
That'd be fantastic.
In particular, I think Will Shepard's a name to watch for because
Yeah.
I think he just fits the archetype again that Sean Payton looks for in terms of the big receiver, someone who can play above the rim, and actually like an underrated route runner for Will Shepard's size. He really impressed me there at the Shrine Bowl with how he was able to get open. Also, like kind of deceptive long speed. Like he burnt some people on the outside this year. If not for him, if you want a true slot, either Jimmy Horn or LeJohntay Wester, my personal pick would be
Wester would
LeJohntay.
make a ton of sense. Did you give yours, Hank?
Yeah,
Genty
I called
and Fannin,
Yep.
right? Okay. It's gonna do it. Leave us your predictions and tune into the draft show. There's still some tickets left to come to the draft
Yes.
party. Look for that. ddnvr.com/events. Check it all out. It's all happening this week, so cannot wait. You'll see a lot of us, and it's gonna be a glorious thing. Thank you for all your support all season long. Truly appreciate it. Leave us a thumbs up on the way out. Mad love. We'll see you on Thursday. Bye.
We all silly like the mayor.